Hello and welcome back to Regiments. In the last episode we captured the chemical plant close to Vogtei and are tasked to advance through Vogtei itself to secure a route towards the heart of the enemy. Thankfully we had support by allied units, otherwise our platoons would not been able to achieve success. And thanks to our success we now have a lot more operational authority to work with. In total we have over 194 points. And I think it might be wise to get the Mechanized Task Force Apparat, because later this would give us access to some artillery. After that, we should invest into some more deployment points so that we can get more forces on the field simultaneously. And the last points are going to get invested into our T-72s. This way we can restore some of our casualties. Unfortunately, these BTRs are not going to be able to be reinforced. And I'm going to waste the last 4 of our points into these BTRs over here. Let's hope that we can clear out the last pockets of enemy resistance in this phase, so that we get enough points of operational authority to level up Apparat and to then restore some of our casualties. And we also have some further intel. The headquarters of the 7th Panzer Division in Militärbezirk 3 reports that electronic warfare battalions have now finally unpacked. They will be jamming the local comms so that the rebels will have a harder time reorganizing. With them using the same radio set as us, we have to expect to be affected too. And this means that we also have to play our last event card, meaning that our supplies are going to be disrupted. But luckily we still have some supplies on the field. The battle can begin, and I'm happy to show you the new operation. Over here our BTR-70s are going to take defensive positions over here, and fresh tanks have also been called in to reinforce, because the enemy could launch a counterattack from there. And over on this direction we can see allied units beginning to push. Some of our tanks are going to secure this high ground and hopefully give supporting fire. These tanks are for the moment going to hang back until everyone is in position. And our scouts have also pulled up to figure out where the enemy is. Supplies have moved up, and these mortars are also able to open fire. And I want them to shoot on those entrenched units. Tanks are now moving up. We can see that they have the enemy in range and should be able to see and shell them down. They're getting into position and they're beginning their bombardment. And I can just tell that the property value in this district is going to drop considerably. These units are already withdrawing, these scouts are getting suppressed, and things are looking good for the moment. It looks like, for now, there is not so much resistance over here. And these units need to move out of the way of the barbed wire, so that they can set up. Wonderful, these tanks have arrived. I want them to push forward over here into the cover of the tree line. They should have a good point of view on the enemy. These units are going to deploy down there. This should keep our center intact. Over here it looks like Mietzen is relatively empty. Let's get our tanks forward. We can see that defenses over here have been breached. And I would like to move into these forests. But it is very much possible that more enemies are going to be in this vicinity. Let's get our scouts forward slightly, and let's also move up with our mortars. These T-70s can try to move in to get Mietzen. And Vogtei West is getting attacked. Soon we will see an enemy counterattack. It is most likely coming from here and here, or from our rear. Speaking of our rear, has everyone arrived? Wonderful, let's get these units set up. And soon we will unfortunately have to leave this high ground. Let's get our tanks forward just a little bit. Over here these tanks can shoot at those infantries. Ah, wonderful. It looks like they have been just completely annihilated. I do not know what this bar stands for. We can see that infantry is pulling up. Our tanks over here can pull up so that we can shell this road if the enemy sends something in. We have more entrenched enemies over there. These are tanks. Let's get our tanks in reserve, in reverse, so that we avoid casualties. Yeah, the enemy front armor is aiming at us, but thanks to overwhelming firepower, they should fall quickly. These tanks are also able to join the fight. We have more tanks over there. And I'm going to send our BDRs over there. Heavy artillery is going to be ordered on those infantries. And the enemy is sending in airplane with cluster ammunition. It feels like we are doing a bit of overkill in this vicinity, but as long as it works, it works. Our mortars are shelling those infantries very good, because they should not be able to kill the enemy armor. And here we can see some more forces approaching the enemy. A counterattack is beginning. The enemy is pulling up with 3 to 5 platoons. We do not know where they're coming from yet. But I have a feeling smoke is coming in. Let's get our soldiers rotated. These tanks, can they pull up to get to Vogtei West? We have our BDRs over here. They can spot a little bit. Let's get them moving forward. Maybe we can figure out more. These mortars can get into the secured forest together with the supplies, and our HQ unit actually needs to pull up. I have completely forgotten about them.
Zone captured.
Over here it looks like we are not in immediate danger. We have captured Vogtei West. And our tanks are in danger. We have annihilated a couple tanks. We have an enemy scout unit over there that we are luckily overrunning. Tanks are taking some hits, but durability is still good, and there these scouts are withdrawing. Let's get our tanks forward. Let's get these tanks forward. HQ is pulling up. This area seems safe. I would like to capture the zone, but I doubt we are able to do so. And I want these tanks to carefully advance towards the enemy so that we can see what's over there, while these tanks try to capture Vogtei North. Scouts, in the meantime, pull up into this forest. It seems like there is no enemy over there. And yes, we have spotted the enemy counterattack. I don't know what they have there, but these seem to be tanks, so let's call in a napalm. More enemies are pulling up in this direction. And we still have nothing to send in. I want our tanks and our BTRs to focus on these infantries. But these tanks are getting suppressed. Let's try to move them out of harm's way. Thankfully, we are getting some support. And hopefully these tanks are going to burn in the napalm. We can see that they are taking some hits. But overall we can't really do much. Let's order our forces to withdraw. Aircraft is coming in though. Good hits, good hits. These soldiers are withdrawing. These tanks are completely destroyed. Let's hope we can hold up. Over here, Vogtei North is almost captured. We can't really see if they have something on this road. Let's still move up. Let's move up with our scouts over here. And maybe we can capture our objective before the enemy is able to get back Angara. Infantry is still pulling back. I think I should let them mount up again, but they might be better off staying there. Our tanks are no longer in range. We need to move them up before these tanks are able to hit us again. And we have lost eyes on them. This is not the best situation. Let's order these boys to mount up and move up as fast as possible. Enemy tanks have been spotted. Our tanks are getting hit. What does the enemy have here? Some infantry and some tanks that are entrenched. Tanks, please fire on those tanks if you can. Where is our artillery? Let's get them forward. How is the situation down? Oh, I did not want that. I did not want them to move out this far. I was not aware of this situation. Let's order some heavy artillery on this. Let's hope these tanks make it out, but I doubt that. Oh, this is a costly mistake. Let's also withdraw those guys. It looks like Angara is unfortunately going to fall, but hopefully we can get fresh units in shortly. Over here, more enemies have been built up. Our tanks, it feels like, should move forward slightly so that we can outflank them. These tanks are holding down this section, but maybe we should move up slightly. And we can call in some more infantry. I want them to support the defense over here. And hopefully we are soon also able to call in fresh tanks. These scouts, I think, would be needed over here. Where's our HQ unit? Over there. Let's get them down. Let's also get our supplies down so that we can refill them. And these mortars also need to pull up. These tanks, in the meantime, need to push up over here. We still have some enemies that have dug in on this flank. We are about to outflank them. We are about to secure the point towards the next stage. But it looks like we might not be able to get back Angara. But it is hardly going to matter. I also want these tanks to move up. I want to figure out if we can actually capture those zones. Or if this is only by specific sections. These tanks have been destroyed. We have secured our objective.
Zone captured.
And now the big question is, do we have to hold everything to proceed to the next stage or not? Tanks are getting hit. Let's move forward and dismount. Yeah, we have lost one of them already. Let's hope we are now in cover. Cluster ammunition is coming in. These tanks are withdrawing. Can we call something in? Yes, we have a couple tanks. I'm going to order them over here on Angara. We are going to move as fast as possible to take this point out. It looks like we should now be able to move up with our infantry as well. And let's hope there is no enemy on there, so that we can later withdraw. These tanks are pulling up. Our scouts have also arrived, but they can't see anything. Let's move through town. And these tanks were able to withdraw. The enemy is coming back with 2 to 4 platoons. Let's move in reserve. We have figured out where they are. Heavy artillery, please cover us. And we need to get our mortars forward. We need our supply set up. We need our HQ to set up. These tanks are hopefully able to give the needed cover fire, even though their ammunition is running out. These soldiers need to fall back. We are about to recapture Angara. As soon as that has been retaken, these soldiers can withdraw. These boys can try to get out of there, but I think they're going to get annihilated. Mortars, please set up. Yeah, our scouts have been completely destroyed. In the meantime, we are trying to outflank those approaching infantries. It looks like they have not completely set up. These tanks, can we get them to move in reverse so that we can get back to our supplies? And it looks like our mortars are about to get hit.
Total domination achieved.
We now need to hold out. And luckily we were able to win this phase before more of our tanks get lost. In this phase we have suffered 12 dead, 40 wounded and 2 missing, bringing our casualties up to 54 soldiers, and we have also lost 8 vehicles. On the enemy side they have over 89 dead, 233 wounded and 13 missing, meaning that they've lost over 335 men. They've also lost over 45 vehicles. In the next episode we are going to attack Mühlhausen. And for this fight we have a large amount of operational authority. This should give us the option to bring Apparat up and to also restore some of our completely beaten down units. But this has to be it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and I thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, I wish you all a great time.